Dear friends, the pertinent question is who am I? So if you can answer this question, then there is no more question. The answer is I am the self. And when you realize that you are the self, actually you're traveling from where to where. Upanishad says, Asadoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Amridam Gamaya. So here we get the qualities of the self and also the qualities of the ego. So the contrast is ego. So when ego comes, there is no more self. What is the ego? Asat stands for ego and Sat stands for the self. So we have to go from Asat to self, Asat to Sat, or from the ego to the self. Then next is Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamas stands for darkness. So from darkness we have to reach light. And what is darkness? Darkness is our samsara. That means whatever experience we have with our body and with the world, with all the vasanas, that is darkness. So we are in the world of appearances and we have to go from appearances to reality. So that is what is said is Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. So we have to realize what is tamas and what is jyotis. Tamas for darkness and it is jyotis for light. And finally, Mrityorma Amridam Gamaya. So Mrityu stands for the process of birth and death that happens with everybody. Punarabi Jananam, Punarabi Maranam. So that is going on. And from death to the immortality, that is Mrityorma Amridam Gamaya. Amridam stands for which has no death, that is immortality. So a real understanding or higher understanding of these three words, that is Sat, Jyotis and Amridam. If we can understand these three words and if we can realize that we are Sat and we can realize that we are Jyotis, we can realize that we are Amridam or we are immortal. So if this realization happens, then we are released from ego. When we are released from ego, there is no more karma. The karma is exhausted. Karma cannot persist, cannot exist. Why it cannot exist? So without ego, no karma can exist. Karma will exist because of the ego. The karma is catching on the ego, or the ego is catching on the karma. So they are doing their own karma. That karma is doing something, ego is doing something. Without the ego, there is no karma, and without the karma, there is no ego. So the total evaporation of two things happens. The total evaporation of ego and karma happens, and there the self emerges. When the self emerges, you realize that you are that. Tattvamasi, you are that. So when that realization happens, there is nobody to claim it. It's a God realization. That means you are realizing it, but you are not proclaiming it, you are not declaring it, you are not saying about it. There is no sayer, there is no spokesman. If the spokesman is there, then there cannot be experience. If the experience is there, there cannot be any spokesman. So that is what is happening. So when the happening is there, then the reporter is not there. When the reporter is there, the happening is not there. So without the reporter, what is happening is happening. That happening is the experience. And when that experience happens, then you are in tune with the totality. You are not different from the totality. You and the totality are one. So you are one with the universe, you are one with the cosmic consciousness. You are consciousness only, you are cosmic consciousness only. So when that experience happens, then the ego vanishes. Till that time, the ego is there. When the ego vanishes, karma vanishes. Ego and karma vanishes, automatically the self remains. When the self is there is no reporter, only the self. So that is what they call shunyata. Shunyata in the sense nothingness. There is nobody to report. Nobody is there. Only that reality is there. The cosmic consciousness is there. That cosmic consciousness is felt. And the person is absent. Only the consciousness is present. There is no man behind Devam. Only Devam is there. Man is not there. Only God is there. Only godliness is there. God is not there. When God emerges, godliness disappears. When godliness emerges, God disappears. So if we can understand this, this is something beyond words. So that is why it is said, speech is silver, silence is golden. So let us catch not the speech but the silence. May God bless us to catch silence only. When you catch silence, then there is no God remaining. When God remains, you cannot catch it, because God and silence is one. When silence is in tune with God, or God is tuned with silence, there cannot be a speaker, there cannot be a reporter. So, thank you for listening. Thank you very much.